Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Janet Yong, and in my channel I share about Feng Shui, Bazi, entrepreneurship as well as personal growth, especially in the areas of communication success and motivation. I'm pleased to announce that I'll be launching a one-year live coaching program called Transform, where I'll be working one-on-one with you, my client, if you decide to be one, to help you transform yourself to be the best version of who you can be, aligning with your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul in terms of your life purpose. If you are keen, please click on the link that I have left in the video description. In today's episode, it will be a continuation on the series about personal growth from the perspective of motivation, passion. The last two episodes I spoke about purpose. And if you notice, all these terminology is actually in alignment with what we call Period 9 the fire elements characteristics. Now, as you know, we will be moving into Period 9 from the year 2024 from a Feng Shui perspective. So this is really about the earth, flying star energies within our home, our living spaces. And if you are new to my channel and do not know much about Period 9, please click on this link so that you can go to the Period 9 playlist, or I will also leave it in the video description for you to understand a bit more. Now, when we talk about the fire element, we're also talking about characteristics of having the motivation, the passion, understanding your purpose. And that's why today's topic is also about happiness and fulfillment. If you have been following my videos, you will also understand that in the previous 3 periods, 6, 7, 8, it's really about the pursuit of wealth, power, status, authority. To switch that to the characteristics of the fire element of purpose, happiness, motivation, it takes quite a bit of change, just like in crises of each of our individual lives, for us to realize this. And that's why you realize the universe has actually started to align since 2017 in terms of the fire elements of the online applications and all those, and with the onset of COVID, as well as a lot of war, disagreements in the world and tension. All these are part of Period 9 as well. Now, that's how the universe is actually shifting us in preparation for Period 9. Now, what as mankind do we do? So, besides understanding each of our individual Bazi and Qimen Duanjia charts, it is also crucial for us to understand where is the big world energies shifting towards. So, when we look at the fire element itself, on the positive side, you have things like motivation, passion, happiness, fulfillment. On the flip side, it will be aggression, impatience, arguments. That's what we are seeing in the world as well. So which one would you want to align to? Of course, in terms of our own life, each individual being is always seeking that happiness. Let's explore a little bit about happiness in this particular video itself. Now, when we talk about happiness as defined in my first book on the Being Happy and Successful series on being happy at work and in your career, I mentioned that happiness is defined by the mental state of well-being characterized by positive emotions ranging from contentment to intense joy. So for each of us, when we're in pursuit of these happiness, we are actually looking at having that moment to moment of happiness, as well as experiencing the kind of contentment when we reach something or a certain mental state, or being happy with life, with our circumstances, with the people around us, the feeling of joy. So that's part of actually being happy. Research has also shown that by being in a happy mental state, our health will be better, ranging from that of cardiovascular, boosting our immunity levels, so on and so forth. However, When we look at happiness, there is quite a lot of myth. A lot of people look at it from the perspective of achieving a certain milestone. For instance, I will be happy if I own a penthouse. I will be happy if I reach a certain level in my career. Now, these are milestones which once you achieve, as human beings, we will achieve a certain equilibrium and then we'll say, so what? I've already achieved this moment in time. Therefore, you are forever looking for that happiness when you achieve a certain goal or reach a certain stage. I'm not saying you should not be setting goals or not wanting to achieve anything in your life, but it's more from the perspective that if you are looking at achieving that certain goal, being happy at that moment and realizing that that is that mental state at that moment in time, and maybe you'll be setting a certain set of goals for your next stage of life, which is actually what can be seen in our Bazi pillars in terms of priorities of life that I've shared quite a bit in the last 2 episodes on the clarity of purpose as well. Now, the next concept that we should be looking at then is fulfillment. Now, fulfillment then talks about living life according to what truly matters to you. Therefore, you'll be focusing more on things that will make you more fulfilled and satisfied. So in this particular case, what I spoke about in terms of clarity of purpose would probably be your guide in terms of achieving your fulfillment. And then the motivation will come from knowing that you have that purpose and having to reshape that purpose in terms of your passion and then moving towards that fulfillment. So when we look at fulfillment itself, it is maybe an end goal in terms of like your purpose. You can look at it from that perspective, and as you adjust in your life, you will be going in pursuit of your happiness, enjoying moment to moment, and then knowing that the ultimate end goal is where you want to go because you're doing things that truly matters to you. And this is definitely more sustainable, mainly because you will then be able to overcome the challenges, the changes, maybe some of the disappointments that will come about. As we discussed, if we look at it from a Bazi or Qi Dunjia perspective, the insights of the luck pillars, the combinations, the clashes itself. If we look at this as a full spectrum and align ourselves with period 9, then we should be able to learn the concept, like I mentioned in the previous 2 episodes, of letting go and not be attached to certain things. However, when we go through life in the pursuit of happiness with the hope of attaining fulfillment towards our life's purpose on what truly matters to us, there will be certain interferences. And the interferences that I'd like to speak about in this particular episode, it's about expectations. Because we grow up in a particular environment or our society, there will be certain expectations of us when we reach a certain stage of life, whether be it successful, getting married, having children be filial to us, or being filial to your parent, or certain expectations from your employer. And these expectations at times bring about the disappointments, okay? And especially when we look at the Bazi chart, it comes in terms of probably some of the punishments, self-persecuting clash, where maybe you pour out your heart and soul to do certain things for other people, and therefore you expect something in return, be it your spouse, your friend, your peer, your colleague, or your employer. Or it's the expectation of after you put certain output in terms of your efforts, the expectation of an outcome in a specific way. So when you do not achieve that, then unhappiness struck. And then you feel unfulfilled, and if you're not able to get out of it, you may get into depression and spiral downwards. So it is important for us to understand that sometimes certain expectations can bring us issues in terms of our pursuit of happiness to reach the ultimate purpose and fulfillment in our life. Now, I'm not saying that you should not have any expectations at all. I'm saying you should not be attached to those expectations. So in summary, in this episode, what I'd like to emphasize on is that your 八字 and 奇门遁甲 natal chart basically provides you with an insight to your motivation, your purpose, and your passions. Therefore, you can move towards it, and what the luck cycle in both the 奇门遁甲 and 八字 chart will help you have an insight of some of the experiences that you will have. But it is critical that when you are going through these, to understand that a lot of us, whatever that it is, it's for the pursuit of happiness, for the ultimate goal of fulfillment in life, because what you want to do is to do things that matter to you and what is significant for you. And with that, I'd like to recommend tips on how you should be handling your life journey when you are in pursuit of happiness towards your fulfillment. The first part would be when things don't go your way or it's not to your expectations in terms of the outcome. Then the first thing to do is to reflect on what has gone wrong. 2 is, are there lessons to be learned so that you can basically not make the same mistake the next time, learn to let go. And 3 is, after all these reflection and learning of lessons, move forward. Do not be attached to what has already happened because you cannot really change, right? That's basically when things do not go your way. Now, what about when things go your way? What should you do? The first thing is definitely celebrate. After you celebrate, do take time to reflect on what was it that brought you that intense joy or happiness, so that you have better clarity in understanding what brings you happiness and go towards your purpose and fulfillment as well. And the third step is, do not forget to move forward at the same time. So here it is, this episode where I talk about happiness and fulfillment with the possible interference of expectations. In the next episode, I will share with you about the concept of perceptions and ideas that can also be an interference in your pursuit of happiness, ultimately working towards your fulfillment and purpose in life. I hope that you have enjoyed this particular sharing, and I hope to see you on my channel in the next episode. Goodbye.